Two unemployed actors. Two unemployed actors. They're just between projects.
Welcome back to Two Unemployed Actors. I'm Max.
I'm Sam.
And we are coming to you remotely, but coming to you as normal on your favourite podcast platform. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave some nice comments and be really nice to us. And
Yes.
And tell your friends and family, etc. Another update for you in the Corona world. Oh, I promised I wouldn't mention that C word again. I did it. I mentioned it more than once last week.
No,
I know we're all sick of it.
Make it the R word and it's Rona.
The Ronavirus.
On my story, I said it's a Rona special.
It's a Rona special.
Rona special. Yeah.
Oh, God. Well, regardless, believe it or not, there is some stuff happening. First of all, I just like to say my big head is blocking it on the camera, but I finished the Millennium Falcon, my Lego prop.
Oh, come on.
I know, my Lego prop. I'm going to have to send photos and post them on the Facebook page because it's amazing. I'll just move my big head. There you go. You should be able to see now for those watching on YouTube. But I will post some on my social. It's really cool. It's massive. Oh my God. But it's a great podcast prop from the Star Wars movies. I love it. So that was my huge success. And I started that before the restrictions got even tighter on self-isolating. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, Jess and I were thinking about going and buying the Aston Martin DB5 to do at home now. So just some more Lego.
More Lego. I know. I have to come up with some more projects.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I think we're all on the same page now anyway. But so that happened. And as everyone else is being remote now, I know lots of news. You watch the news now on the news networks. And whether it's CNN or whether it's Sky News, you can see the guests aren't in the studio now. They're being dialed in over Skype or their mobile or whatever dodgy audio devices they've got. But I follow a newscaster in Australia called Tracy Grimshaw, and she posted some photos on her social of how she's turned her spare bedroom into the Current Affairs set with a little cardboard sort of wooden tiny table with a tablecloth over the top. And her plasma in the background and minimal crew, and they showed a behind the scenes shot of them all spaced apart. It looked really good. So I said, fantastic on your commitment to keep bringing the news to us. By the way, can I use it as a self-tape studio before you go to air? So I'm waiting to hear back on that because I reckon I'm in with a chance.
You messaged her.
I did, yeah. She liked the message, but that's not the answer I was after. I was hoping, I can come in because it's great. They've set up for lighting and everything. But
she's not actually going to let you come in.
Yeah, I mean, not while they're on air, obviously, because they broadcast live. Just before.
Of course. Maybe when she's just eating breakfast or something.
Minimal inconvenience. Like the crew don't have to be there. I know what I'm doing, and it's a spare room. So
just before she wakes up, just while she's asleep, just do it.
I'll stay. I won't touch anything. I'll stay 1.5 meters away from everyone in the family, and she won't even know I'm there.
Yeah.
So I'm just putting that out in the universe. And I had the full mockumentary land in my lap where I was playing this homeless guy who's living in an alleyway by choice. It's part of his lifestyle.
Very cool.
It's come back, and look, it's an hour and it's a long hour. I'm probably gonna Darcy Prince is the guy who produced and directed it. So what I might do, I'm thinking I might chop it up into little bits and pieces and have some of my favourite pieces and maybe do Instagram TV or something like that and have a little bit, because it's really in the theme of self-isolation, living on his own in an alleyway, wanting to be out of touch with everything he knew, his ex-job, his ex-friends, etc. So I'm going to call it extreme self-isolating. And we'll have one every other day or so. So I'll play a little just to give you an insight into this character. Right, this is a character I created called, funnily enough, Max, and he's down on his luck. He's been living by choice, in his words, in an alleyway for quite some time, and it's basically a tour, like a mockumentary. You're following him through his daily routines, his exercising, his thoughts on life, his goals. He's homeless, but he has them. So here we go. This is him talking about a bit of exercising in his lifestyle.
Who needs a gym? Gym's for idiots. Gym's for people who want to take photos of themselves going to the gym. No. It's like my diet, it's all about everything around you, what's around you. Locally sourced, fresh stuff from the rubbish, from the leftovers, from... It's all, sustainable living. Because that's what the kids are talking about, sustainability. Sustainable living, that's me. That's my lifestyle. That's why I choose to live in the alley and have a little alley away from the alley. Not many people own lots of property. I've got 2.
So that's a bit of an insight into what to expect. And it's filmed it in a way, and
you're filming it? Are you like your character is filming it?
No. Someone's there interviewing, and you're sort of getting his responses. So, he's basically he's kind of placed these effects on it to make it look like it's a really old sort of style, like it's like a projector in a movie theater. Okay. Anyway, I'll give you one more, and then we can move on. This is this is what his goal is.
My goal is to marry a rich woman, stay for a couple of years, and then just leave so I can get paid.
So it's not the most
great goal.
It's not. Everybody has a goal. That's his. It's probably a bit harder to achieve for him being homeless, but
at least he has a goal.
That's true. He's living for something. Man. Absolutely. So I'm going to break it up and put it into little bits and pieces and get it out into the universe on, thanks to Darcy Prince, on maybe Instagram TV or something. I haven't quite worked it out yet, but I've edited it down into...
Did you get an IMDb credit?
I don't think so. Don't think it's there, but
cool.
I've probably got about 20 little shorts that I can push out.
Very cool.
Of extreme isolation.
On the conversation of projects, as we do, I was going through my Facebook feed yesterday and came across Mulner's posted that they were auditioning for like a young male for the lead role in an Aussie feature film.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool. And I contacted my agent and I said, are you putting me forward for this? And blah, blah. He's like, yes, already put you forward, waiting to hear back and more about the role. So that's really cool. And Brilliant. So I'm gonna audition and apply through the website, which I asked Mark about already, and then he's already put me forward. So it's a bit of both. So it can't really hurt. So
okay.
Hopefully, I'll probably contact Grant Thompson, who I haven't seen yet. So don't worry, I haven't forgotten. Because of obviously the Rona.
The Rona, yeah.
The Rona. But I'm hoping to contact him and see if I can actually do the self-tape with him.
Yep.
Or just at least with his guidance.
It's a great idea. Like I've turned up before with an acting coach, and I'm like, I've you're off book. You've done it a few different ways. You've stretched yourself lots of different ways, and you've got the scene right. You think you're about to hit record, and then you go in and. Everything's sort of stretched and you're pushed and it's turned upside down a bit, and what you manage to deliver with a great acting coach can be quite different, quite certainly better, one hopes, than what you had.
Yeah, they think of things that you don't think of, and that's just really cool. So like it's a Aussie feature film. We don't know much about it. Like the script for the self-tape isn't even from the film itself. It's still in development. It's just like kind of a general audition script, so it's not really from the film. Yep. So we don't know anything. I think Mark is waiting to hear back about more about the role, but 18 to 22-year-old male, so I'm smack bang in the middle of that, so that's cool. And so hopefully, I'm going to practice the script, do it well, keep Grant's points in mind and his tips and skills and tricks and whatever, and all his advice.
He is a genius.
So,
yeah, that's good. That's great.
Hopefully that goes well. And they're still, like, obviously they're going to push back the deadline for the audition tapes to begin because of coronavirus. But yeah, I don't think it would be filmed until next year anyway. So they're going ahead with auditions and stuff. So that's pretty cool.
If there's one thing we're used to, it's self-taping. So we'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, that's also Grant's goal, is to just get you more used to self-taping, because that's what the modern acting day auditions are now. It's
too easy. And I think as any audition at the moment, and I know that there's fewer opportunities, but there's still some opportunities. I think everything is self-taped at the moment because of the state of the world.
Jess and I watched a movie the other night. It's called Upgrade.
Yes,
Have you heard
fantastic.
of it?
It's an Australian film filmed in Melbourne.
Yeah. So it's written and directed by Leigh Whannell, who is Aussie. And so he's put heaps of Aussies in it. The majority of the cast is Aussie, except the lead dude.
Yep.
Which is freaking awesome. And like, I decided to message him. He hasn't gone back to me, but like, it hasn't. I don't know if it's delivered
bit busy,
either.
but yeah.
But I decided to message him, just be like, thank you for doing that, because it gives you hope to see like Aussie actors in films and stuff. And it was a pretty cool film, like technically and just the idea behind it. I thought was really, really cool. I watched a lot of interviews on it afterwards. So
it's fantastic. I mean, have you seen? You haven't seen Invisible Man yet, have you?
No, not yet.
Because he directed that. So
no, did he?
That was his first movie that he directed, and so
Invisible Man.
Yeah, correct. It's
as
part
in
of
like the new one.
As in the yeah, and that's why it was filmed in Australia as well.
Didn't he directed Upgrade though, right?
I don't think he did.
Maybe he didn't.
He
Do a
wrote
quick
it.
research.
I'm having a look now. Hang on.
He wrote Saw as well.
No, yeah, it's the Blumhouse crew, but let me have a look.
Yeah.
Oh no, he did direct that. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So Leigh Whannell, did the screenplay and directed Upgrade. Okay,
Yeah.
And also The Invisible Man. And we had a special actor event where we were able to see the movie and then the movie Upgrade. And then we had a little Q&A where he'd come in and play a couple of scenes and talk through how how he made certain choices in those scenes.
I watched
and it's really interesting to get that insight. And he was really open to taking questions from us, and really helped us sort of dive into a bit more about how he brought the story to life.
Was this in 2018 when it came out? You went to this Q&A?
It was early last year, I think, or sometime last year. I'd seen the movie already, and then it's just come on in, have an hour and a half chat with Leigh Whannell, and he basically had his laptop there with his mate, and they were sort of putting the laptop onto the big movie screen at the cinema and playing through a scene and then talking through that particular scene. He did I think 2 or 3 scenes, and
That's
then
cool.
it was a lot of Q&A, which was great.
He was saying how the STEM, the guy in his head, the robot dude, the robot in the dude's head, with like his voice. Simon, I forgot his last name, who did the voice, was actually like voicing him in the studio behind like the set, but only Logan, the lead dude, could like hear him. Yeah. So it was like what other people, like the rest of the crew, were just seeing the lead guy just talking to himself pretty much, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
So
and that's great for an actor to be able to have it come to life a little bit more.
Yeah. They could actually overlap dialogue and stuff and interrupt each other, which I thought was really cool.
Because there's a lot going on between them.
Yeah. And he was saying, I watched an interview how, what did he say? He was saying he loves, Leigh Whannell loves shooting in Australia because unlike in America, you have all these big professional crew members because they do all the Marvel films and all the multi-million-dollar films here. And then in between those, they work on indie ones as well because it's such a small industry anyway. So when he came and did his indie film Upgrade, he had like someone who had just finished filming Mad Max, and the lighting guy had just finished with Martin Scorsese and all this stuff. And he was saying how that's really cool, and you just get such professional crew in Australia, I guess.
It's great, and I think that's the benefit of having such investment in into the arts in whatever country you're in. To get that level of professionalism, because the big tentpole movies that come in with their $100 million budgets bring on a lot of people, and they upskill. You're absolutely right. They upskill on these movies. It's a great experience, and they can continue to use that in the industry on indie movies. So it's fantastic.
Exactly. So, how are you going with the coronavirus?
Well,
lock-in.
Is
Fred okay?
Fred and I are spending a lot of time together, so
Very nice.
we're still on speaking terms, which is great. He tends to talk more than me, but that's okay. And then, getting out and exercising is kind of the thing, really, just to keep sane, like, while we can anyway. Like, walking the dog to the coffee shop in the morning, try and support them with my takeaway coffee while I walk the dog and try and...
Is your machine still not...
Try and pretend I'm normal. I picked up my coffee machine today, but a little bit of an altercation in the store because they wanted to charge me again. I'm like, listen, I gave you guys $200 back in October to fix it. You gave it back to me, said it was fixed. It wasn't fixed. I came back. You did something else to it. I came home. No, it wasn't fixed. This is the third time I'm back, and now you want to charge me more money. It's like, but we're not charging you labour. I'm like, I don't know what you're doing, but you're charging me again. We had a moment.
They're charging you if they're not charging you.
We had a moment. Oh, they've discovered that it's actually another part. So I'm like, well, so you need to replace all the other parts that cost $200. I'm like, just get your act together. So we had a bit of a moment, and then politely the manager stepped in and said, don't worry about it, which kind of would have been nice 10 minutes earlier because the person just absolutely escalated it, like, don't interrupt me. You're not listening to me. All those golden customer service moments that you just shouldn't hear. And there's Max going, I don't understand. I paid for it to be fixed. What are you doing to me? I'm just an actor. Help.
Help, yeah.
I need my coffee. So anyway, the good news is I got the machine. It's back at home and it should be working now. Brilliant. Well done. So anyway, I'll still try and support local cafes and getting out and about because I tell you what, it makes you feel a little bit normal in an abnormal world, which is good. Lots of voiceovers too, bits of corporate explainers as people try and understand new company procedures and that as a result of the corona world. And normal, online ads. Online has been big. I saw a post this morning from the casting agency Chicken and Chips, and it was around because I had a little bit of a webinar yesterday talking about what's happening at the moment, and they're still seeing some briefs come through. There's still some work.
Yeah, there's bits here and there, like the
lessons from
like the film and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's lessons from the GFC where those companies that continue to advertise through the GFC, through the downturn, were much stronger as soon as it finished. And sometimes it goes to more online content where it's a bit cheaper and a bit more effective at cutting through to exactly, your audience as opposed to big budget, ads. So there's still that. I mentioned that, I've seen that with voiceovers and sort of pivoting more towards what I can do online, even some presenting to camera stuff here for corporate. Yeah. So they said, that's spot on. That's exactly what we're seeing. More in that realm. So there's still work out there. It's just you've got to cut through a lot to get the right work. And there's a lot of people auditioning in voiceover world at the moment. So people have just found themselves with a mic going, I need some money.
Would be right. But you have to sign up to voices.com. It's like $500, isn't it?
That's right.
So people doing that.
That's right. And we know, it's not as, I know I've said in the past in previous podcasts, it's not as simple as just grabbing a mic and speaking. It's like, an actor isn't just grabbing a script and memorizing lines.
No. So are people paying that $500 though?
I don't know. I just know, I'm much more particular on what I audition for too. Whereas now people must be like, well, I need lots of money and the income's dropped. I'm just going to audition for everything, whether I'm 100% suitable or not. So there was one audition for this morning, had 84 others that had auditioned within, I think, 2.5 hours of it being posted. Jesus. So, look, work's still coming in, but it helps having a home studio and having a client list and all that sort of stuff. Well, guess what happened on Sunday? It was my birthday.
Oh,
so
happy
I can't
birthday.
Thank you. Can't have a birthday party. Can't go out to the pub for drinks. Can't go to a bar. So basically, I met up with 5 friends and went for. And Fred had a mate there as well, little Ruby. Fortunately, they got on well. And walked around Centennial Park, which is a really big park here in the city of Sydney. And I mean, everyone was out. It was 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning. Everyone was there because of this, the way the world is at the moment. You have to be self-isolating. when they are out exercising, I mean, everyone's there. And in fact, one person, she got hit twice, actually, people running into her because there was that many people on the path. I'm like, well, that's not social distancing. And there's big signs up, like roadwork signs saying, social distance. It's a bit awkward. You have to sort of find your quiet spaces to run around.
Yeah. How old did you turn? Like
40,
60
44, not 60. Thank you very much.
The big 60?
44 and very immature, as this podcast proves every week. But so yeah, it wasn't quite the normal birthday celebrations, but I'm alive, I'm healthy, so I can't complain too much. And I'm working, so that's the hat trick these days.
Jess got me into watching Broadchurch. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a British crime show.
What's it called?
Broadchurch.
Okay, so you started watching Broadchurch. Is it religious?
No, it's a town. I don't know if it's fictional or not.
Okay.
In England, but it's really, really good. It's got like David Tennant in it.
Oh,
and
yes.
Olivia Colman.
So David Tennant, he was the Doctor Who, wasn't he?
Yeah.
At one stage?
Yeah. One of them.
One of them. Yeah, I know this.
Yeah.
I know. The favourite's still the one I grew up with. Can't remember his name. Oh, Fred's off.
Oh, hello, Freddie.
Someone, a leaf
flew
past the door. I think so. Well, the other time he got to hear you before I could plug in the mic properly, and he started to run around going, "What's going on?" He's a bit confused. He's like, "Where the hell's Sam? I don't understand. Where's the extra attention?" But fortunately, he can't. He hasn't clocked you. He can't see and he can't hear you, so he's just barking at whatever it is. That's the other benefit with a quiet neighbourhood. He can hear things like blocks away, so I don't know what he's barking at.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so how is Broadchurch? So it's like a crime thriller thing, like someone dies.
So in season 1, no spoilers, but it's right. The first episode, the whole season is about trying to find this 11-year-old boy's killer. So this 11-year-old boy is killed in this town. It's a small town. Everyone knows everyone. And David Tennant comes in, but it's like you're on the edge of your seat the whole time. And the whole season is about finding this killer. And then season 2 we've just started, but that's about the court case. And then I have no idea what season 3 is about. There's only 3 seasons, but
okay, I'll have to have a look.
They're good, and David Tennant plays a detective who comes in from somewhere else, so he's unknown. Okay,
he's this amazing genius that's helicoptered in to solve crime.
But has had a kind of
that old chestnut. Is he a tortured hero as well? Has he lost his family in a car crash or something? Are we talking like Mel Gibson level of police, tortured hero moments?
I think he something happened to him in a past case with another dead child, and he failed the family or something like that. But I won't give too much
this
away.
This inner turmoil, this torturous moment that he must overcome.
Yeah, he's come back for redemption.
Every good gritty detective has one of those stories.
Yeah. But I haven't watched many British TV. Like I've grown up watching American stuff, and I think the first one that I've watched is Sex Education, and then like fully actually tried to watch was Sex Education, and then now Broadchurch. I haven't watched too much.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, well, first of all, Netflix, you've got so much great content from so many different countries. It just opens up a whole lot of great stories and cultural insights.
Yeah.
And
well, actually, this is on SBS On Demand or whatever it is.
Oh, great, because that's free. We love that.
Yeah. It's free and
free. I have to say, Netflix it's gone to standard definition now because there's so many people at home watching Netflix. It's like the internet's just gone blah.
They're loving it. They're loving it.
They're downgrading the content from HD to SD for everyone just so they can get enough out there. All right. You've been listening to Two Unemployed Actors. I'm Max.
I'm Sam.
And we'll be back next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your favourite podcast platform.
Two Unemployed Actors.